Hi, this is Keith Allen, and today I want to introduce you to a communications model that I believe will be helpful to you first for understanding your own writing and then for understanding the writings of others. This communication model is called the communications triangle. It's a simple model and is useful for exploring any kind of communications, but we will use it mainly to explore writing, especially academic writing. In terms of writing, the communication triangle is made up of a writer communicating with a reader about some subject matter or problem using some kind of text. The text, of course, is central to this model because it's the text that connects the writer, the reader, and the subject to each other, making communication possible. Although the text is central, it is not any more important than the writer, reader, and subject. All four elements must be present and must be working well for communication to happen. Now, many writing courses, some that you may have already taken, focus mostly on two parts of the communications triangle, the text and the subject. You're advised by a well-meaning professor to pick a subject, narrow your thesis, do some research, and write clean, proper prose according to some format, perhaps APA or MLA. But this is an unfortunate approach to writing, as it leaves out the reasons most of us ever communicate at all. People. Communication is all about people talking to people. Of course, animals have always communicated, and even machines are starting to communicate. But for our purposes, we're really talking about people. People talking to people. That's what we're interested in. So in this class, we won't leave the people out. In fact, we start with the people, the reader and the writer. So this is our communications triangle, a model of how communications take place. It's made up of the writer, reader, and subject, joined by a text, and it can be very useful for understanding any communication. For instance, it can help explain what's happening right now as you are watching this online lecture. We have a writer, in this case me, a college writing professor, communicating with a group of students, in this case you, about the communications triangle. And in this case, we've specifically tailored it to written communications. And I'm using a very particular kind of text, a presentation, online presentation actually. If you really want to understand what's happening here then, you must explore my purposes for writing, your needs for information, the nature of the subject, and the constraints of the particular text that I'm using. We will explore these four parts of the communication triangle over the rest of this term, and we will use this model often, so remember it. The writer's triangle starts with the writer and reader, then it adds the subject and text. And what's in the middle? Well, I am, and you are. And what does this spell? You got it. Wrist. The wrist method for writing. So there you have a little mnemonic to help you remember the four parts of the writer's triangle. The writer, the reader, the subject, and the text. I want to thank you for being with me, and I wish you the best of luck in this.